I found the baby monitor 3 days ago, hidden behind the picture frame on my dresser, camera pointed directly at my bed. I don't have kids. I'm 22 years old and single. There's no reason for a baby monitor in my bedroom. When I confronted my parents about it, my mother didn't even look guilty. "We need to watch you at night," she said calmly. "It's the only way we'll know when it happens again." "When what happens again?" "You'll understand soon. Just let us keep watching, please." That night, I checked the monitor's app on my phone. My parents were logged in, watching my bedroom in real time from their room down the hall. I unplugged it, threw it in my closet. 2 hours later, my father burst into my room, terrified. "Why did you turn it off? We need to see you!" What they told me would explain why they've been watching me sleep for months, and what they've been seeing that I don't remember. Stay with me, because this story is about discovering you become someone else when you're unconscious. Before we continue, if you've ever discovered your family was secretly monitoring you, hit that subscribe button right now. Your support means everything to me. And comment below, have you ever done things in your sleep that you don't remember? Let's talk about it. Now back to my story. My name is Zoe Parker. I'm 22 years old, and I live with my parents in Portland, Oregon, while I finish my master's degree. Living at home isn't ideal, but it's practical. I'm in grad school full-time and working part-time. I can't afford my own place yet. My parents have always been a bit overprotective, but lately they've been acting strange. They ask me constantly how I slept, if I had any dreams, if I remember anything from the night before. "I slept fine, Mom. Why do you keep asking?" "Just concerned about you, honey." 2 weeks ago, I noticed my door was open when I woke up. I always close it before bed. Always. "Dad, why was my door open this morning?" "Was it? Must have blown open." "We don't have drafts that strong." He just shrugged and changed the subject. Then I started finding things moved in my room. My desk chair turned around, books rearranged, my laptop closed when I'd left it open. I thought maybe I was doing it and forgetting, stress from school, but it felt wrong. 3 days ago, I was dusting my room when I knocked over the picture frame on my dresser, an old photo of our family at the beach. The frame fell backward, and I saw something behind it, a small device with a camera lens. I pulled it out. A baby monitor, one of those modern ones with Wi-Fi and night vision. My heart started racing. Someone had been watching me sleep. I checked the device. It was connected to our home Wi-Fi. I downloaded the monitor's app and logged in using the device ID. 2 accounts were connected. Mom and Dad. My parents had been watching me, in my bedroom, at night. I felt sick, violated. Why would they do this? I marched downstairs. They were in the living room having coffee. "Care to explain this?" I held up the monitor. My mother set down her cup. "You found it. You've been watching me sleep with a baby monitor? I'm 22 years old." "We can explain," my father started. "This is insane. This is a massive invasion of privacy." "Zoe, please sit down," my mother said. "There's a reason we've been monitoring you." What reason could possibly justify this? My parents looked at each other. That look, the one that said they'd been keeping secrets. "You've been having episodes," my father said carefully. "Episodes of what?" "Sleepwalking, but not regular sleepwalking. Something worse." "I don't sleepwalk." "You do, you just don't remember." My mother pulled out her phone. "We have videos. We've been documenting them for the past 2 months." She played a video. Night vision footage from the baby monitor. I watched myself sit up in bed, get up, walk around my room. But something was wrong. The way I moved, jerky, unnatural, like a puppet on strings. "That's not me. It is you, your body, but you're not conscious." In the video, I walked to my window, pressed my hands against the glass, stood there for 15 minutes, completely still. Then I went back to bed. "This doesn't prove anything. Lots of people sleepwalk." My mother played another video. This one was more disturbing. I was standing in the center of my room, staring at the camera, for over an hour, not moving, not blinking, just staring. "Okay, that's weird. But why not just tell me? Why hide a camera?" Because of what happened when we tried to wake you, my father said quietly. My father pulled up another video. This was from 3 months ago, before we installed the monitor. The video was from his phone, shaky footage. It showed him opening my bedroom door slowly. I was sitting on my bed, eyes open, but clearly not awake. "Zoe?" my father's voice said in the video. "Honey, are you okay?" I turned to look at him, but my eyes were wrong. Empty. "Zoe, you're sleepwalking. Let me help you back to bed." He approached me, reached out to touch my shoulder. I screamed, a horrible, inhuman sound. Then I lunged at him. The video got chaotic. My father fell backward. My mother ran in. They were both yelling, "Zoe, wake up, wake up!" But I didn't wake up. I kept screaming, clawing at them, fighting like a wild animal. The video ended. I sat there, stunned. "I did that?" "You attacked us," my mother said. "We tried to restrain you, and you just kept fighting, for 20 minutes. Then suddenly you stopped, lay down, and went back to sleep. The next morning, you didn't remember any of it," my father added. "We asked if you remembered getting up in the night. You said no. Why didn't you tell me?" "We took you to a doctor, a sleep specialist. He said it's a parasomnia, a sleep disorder where you perform complex actions while unconscious." "What kind of actions?" "Getting out of bed, walking around, standing for long periods, staring at things. And if someone tries to wake you, you become violent." "The doctor said the worst thing we could do is try to wake you during an episode. That's what triggers the violent response. He said we should just monitor you, make sure you don't hurt yourself, but let the episode pass naturally." "So you've been watching me every night? For months?" "We needed to make sure you were safe, that you weren't leaving your room, hurting yourself. The monitor lets us watch without disturbing you." I didn't know what to say. On one hand, I understood their concern. On the other hand, being watched while I slept felt deeply wrong. "How often do these episodes happen?" 4 to 5 times a week, my mother said, usually between 1 and 3 a.m. "And what do I do?" "Mostly just stand there. Sometimes you walk around. Sometimes you go to the window. Once you opened your closet and stood inside for an hour." "That's so creepy." "It is, but the doctor said it's not dangerous as long as we don't interfere. Eventually, you just go back to bed." "Has anything else happened? Anything worse?" My parents exchanged another look. "Tell me," I demanded. "Last week," my father said slowly, "you left your room. We heard your door open. When we checked the monitor, you were gone." "Where did I go?" "We found you in the basement, standing in front of the old storage closet, just staring at the door." "For how long?" 3 hours. We watched from the stairs, didn't want to approach you in case you became violent again. Finally, around 4 a.m., you turned around and walked back upstairs to bed." "Why the basement? Why that closet?" "We don't know. But Zoe, that closet has been locked for years. We don't even have the key anymore. Whatever's in there, it's from before we moved into this house." I went to see the sleep specialist myself, Dr. Rachel Chen. She reviewed my parents' videos and my medical history. "This is definitely a parasomnia, but it's more complex than typical sleepwalking. You're exhibiting elements of REM sleep behavior disorder combined with confusional arousals." "In English, please?" "During normal sleep, your body is paralyzed. That's what keeps you from acting out your dreams. But in your case, that paralysis isn't working properly. Parts of your brain are awake while other parts are deeply asleep." "So I'm dreaming, but my body is moving?" "Possibly. Or you're in a dissociative state, conscious enough to move around but not conscious enough to form memories or make rational decisions." "Why is it happening now? I'm 22. Didn't have this problem as a kid." Parasomnias can emerge at any age, often triggered by stress, medication, sleep deprivation, or trauma. Have you experienced any of those recently? I thought about it. I'm in grad school. That's stressful, but nothing unusual. What about trauma? Any difficult experiences in the past year? No, nothing. What about before you moved into your current house? Any major life changes? We moved to this house when I was 6. I barely remember the old place. Interesting, because according to your parents' reports, you seem fixated on the basement. specifically that storage closet. That suggests something from your past is manifesting in your sleep behavior. Like what? I don't know, but our subconscious sometimes tries to process unresolved trauma through sleep. If something happened when you were young, something you've forgotten or repressed, it might be surfacing now. What should I do? I can prescribe medication that might reduce the episodes, and I'd recommend therapy, specifically someone who specializes in trauma and memory work. She wrote out prescriptions and referrals. In the meantime, your parents should continue monitoring you, not with a camera in your room. That does violate your privacy, but perhaps a motion sensor on your door, so they're alerted if you leave your room? That seems reasonable. And Zoe, don't try to force yourself to remember. If there is repressed trauma, it needs to come back naturally. Forcing it can be psychologically damaging. I started seeing Dr. Miranda Lopez, a trauma therapist. For the first few sessions, we just talked about my life, my childhood, my family, school, nothing particularly revealing. But in our fourth session, Dr. Lopez asked me to do a memory exercise. Close your eyes. I want you to think about your earliest memory. I did. I'm maybe 5 or 6. We're at the old house. I'm playing in the yard. Good. What else do you remember about the old house? Not much. We moved when I was 6. I remember my bedroom was small. There was a tree outside my window. Do you remember anything about the basement? I felt a strange chill. Why the basement? Because your parents said you're fixated on the basement storage closet. I'm wondering if there's a connection to the old house. I don't remember a basement in the old house. Are you sure? I thought harder. Fragments came to me. A dark staircase, cold air, the smell of mildew. Actually, there was a basement. I wasn't allowed down there. Why not? My parents said it was dangerous. Old stairs, sharp things stored down there. I remember being curious about it, but never going down. Never? Not once? I don't know. Maybe? Close your eyes again. Think about that basement. What do you see? I closed my eyes, and suddenly, a memory surfaced. Sharp, clear, like it had been buried and was now breaking through. I'm 6 years old. It's nighttime. I'm in my pajamas. I'm walking down the basement stairs. Why are you going down there? I don't know. I'm scared, but something is making me go. What do you see? It's dark. There's a storage closet at the far end. The door is open. There's something inside. What's inside? I can't see. It's too dark. But I hear something. Breathing. Someone is in there. Who? I don't know. I'm getting closer. I can see now. There's a woman. She's sitting in the closet, crying. Do you know her? No. Yes, I don't know. She looks at me. Her eyes are so sad. She says something. What does she say? Help me. Please help me. My eyes flew open. I was shaking. What was that? Dr. Lopez leaned forward. That was a recovered memory, something you'd buried. Do you know who the woman was? No, but she seemed familiar, like I should know her. I think we need to talk to your parents. Ask them about the old house, about that basement. That evening, I confronted my parents. Did something happen in the old house, in the basement? They both went pale. What do you remember? My mother asked carefully. I remember going down to the basement when I was 6. There was a woman in the storage closet. She was crying. She asked me to help her. My father sat down heavily. Oh, God, you remember. Remember what? Who was she? My mother started crying. Your aunt, my sister, Rebecca. I don't have an Aunt Rebecca. You did. She lived with us for a few months when you were 6. She was going through a mental health crisis, depression, psychosis. We were trying to help her. Why was she in the basement closet? She would hide there during her episodes, my father said. She felt safe in small, dark spaces. We tried to get her professional help, but she refused, said we were trying to control her. One night, she had a severe episode. She went down to the basement and locked herself in that closet. We couldn't get her out. She wouldn't respond to us. We called for emergency services, but by the time they arrived, she died, my mother whispered. In that closet. We tried everything, broke down the door, performed CPR, but she was gone. She had taken pills, my father added, an overdose. We didn't know she'd been stockpiling medication. She planned it. I felt dizzy. She killed herself? In our house? Yes. It was traumatic for all of us, especially you. You'd found her earlier that night, went down to the basement, saw her in the closet. You tried to help her, but you were just 6 years old. We moved shortly after. Couldn't stay in that house. Couldn't look at that basement. We sold it and bought the new house. Tried to give you a fresh start. Why didn't you tell me? Because you blocked it out. The trauma was too much. You stopped talking about Aunt Rebecca, stopped asking questions. Your therapist at the time said you'd repress the memories to protect yourself. But now they're coming back, I said, in my sleep. That's what the episodes are about. We think so, my mother said. When we moved into the new house, the previous owners left a locked storage closet in the basement. We never bothered to open it, but recently, when you started having the episodes, you kept going to that closet. Because it reminds me of the old closet, where Rebecca died. Yes, I need to see what's in that closet. Zoe, we don't have the key. Then we break it open. I need to face this. It's the only way to stop the episodes. The next day, my father and I went down to the basement with a crowbar. The storage closet was in the corner, old, wooden, padlocked shut. Are you sure about this? My father asked. I need to know what's in there, why my subconscious keeps bringing me here. He pried the lock off. The door creaked open. Inside was mostly empty, a few old boxes, some cleaning supplies left by the previous owners, but in the back corner was a small trunk, covered in dust. I opened it. Inside were photo albums, old ones, and letters. These aren't ours, my father said. I opened a photo album. It showed a family I didn't recognize. A woman, a man, a little girl. But wait, I did recognize the woman. She looked like the woman from my memory, like Rebecca. Dad, who are these people? He looked at the photos. His face went white. That's not possible. What? He pulled out one of the letters. Read it. His hands were shaking. Zoe, this house, before we bought it, it belonged to Rebecca. What? She lived here, years ago, before she moved in with us. This was her house. I felt cold. We bought her house? Her actual house? We didn't know. She never told us the address. After she died, we just wanted to move, get away from that tragedy. When we found this place, it was just a house for sale. We had no idea it was connected to her. But it is connected. That's why I keep coming down here. My subconscious knows this was her space. I looked through more photos. Rebecca as a young woman, smiling, happy, before the depression, before the breakdown. There were letters too, some addressed to my mother, letters Rebecca had written but never sent. One caught my eye. The date was from just before she died. I'm sorry I couldn't be stronger. Sorry I'm putting you through this. I know Zoe tried to help me that night in the closet. She's so young, so innocent. Tell her I'm sorry. Tell her it wasn't her fault. Tears streamed down my face. She wanted me to know it wasn't my fault. She did, my father said gently. Rebecca loved you. Her death wasn't your fault. You were 6 years old. You couldn't have saved her. But I tried. I went down to that closet. I tried to help her. And that shows what a kind, brave child you were. Rebecca knew that. She wanted you to know that. That night, I asked my parents to remove the baby monitor. I don't need it anymore. Are you sure? My mother asked. What if the episodes continue? Then they continue, but I need my privacy. We can put a motion sensor on my door like Dr. Chen suggested. That way you'll know if I leave my room, but I don't want cameras watching me sleep. They agreed. That night, I went to bed without being monitored for the first time in months. I slept peacefully. No episodes, no sleepwalking, no standing in front of closets. The next morning, I felt different, lighter, like a weight had been lifted. Over the next few weeks, the episodes gradually decreased. Once I'd processed the trauma, once I'd learned the truth about Rebecca, once I'd forgiven myself for something that was never my fault to begin with. My subconscious had been trying to tell me something, trying to make me face a buried memory, and once I did, it could finally rest. I'm Zoe Parker. I'm 22 years old. My parents put a baby monitor in my bedroom even though I don't have kids. They were watching me at night because I was sleepwalking, going to a basement storage closet, reliving a trauma I'd repressed for 16 years. But now I know the truth about my Aunt Rebecca, about her death, about the guilt I'd been carrying. And I'm finally free. If your family is monitoring you, ask why. There might be a real reason, a scary reason, a reason that leads to truths you've been avoiding. Sometimes being watched isn't about control. Sometimes it's about protection, protection from threats, or protection from ourselves. And sometimes the only way to stop being watched is to face what you've been running from. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support truly means the world to me. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. I love reading every single one of them. Each comment inspires me to keep creating stories for you. See you next time.